Hi, welcome to a video on the 2025 KZN Trial Paper 2. We're focusing on question 5, which focuses on trigonometry. So we read the question which says, given cos 16 is equal to k, without using a calculator, determine each of the following in terms of k. So we need to rewrite the angle of 344 degrees, looking at sine 344 in terms of 16. So we know that according to our cast diagram, 344 degrees is in quadrant 4, and the angle formula in quadrant 4 is 360 degrees minus theta, which means we can rewrite 344 as 360 minus 16 degrees. Now we know that is in quadrant 4, and in quadrant 4 sine is actually negative. So we know in quadrant 4 sine is negative, which now works out to be equal to minus sine 16 degrees. Now they have given us that cos 16 is equal to k. So what we're going to do quickly is draw a diagram. And we know 16 degrees is in quadrant 1. Now they have given us, the given information here is that cos 16 is equal to k. Now from definition, cos is equal to x over r. And we're going to write k as a fraction, which is k over 1. So we know the x value is k, the r value is 1, and to find y, we're going to use Pythagoras, and that would give us r squared, which is 1 squared, minus x squared, which is k squared. So now we know the value of x to be k, r to be 1, and y to be root of 1 minus k squared. So by definition, we know that sine is y over r, which now will make that negative. The y value that we just found is root of 1 minus k squared, and the r value is 1, so we can leave it as root of minus root of 1 minus k squared. Okay, we're going to 512, and in 512 it wants us to find tan 106. Now we know that tan is equal to sine over cos. Now we want to write 106. Remember 106, we want to express it with a 16, and our best solution there is to go with 90 plus 16. So we're going to rewrite that as sine of 90 plus 16 over cos of 90 plus 16. So we know 90 plus 16, that's 90 plus theta. If we go back to the quadrants, so we know that, and I'm going to put it down in the diagram, 90 plus 16 is in quadrant 2, and 90 plus is a complementary angle, so sine of 90 plus 16, remember in quadrant 2 sine is positive, so that will become cos. The co-ratio of sine is cos 16, and if we look at the denominator, cos of 90 plus 16, cos in quadrant 2 is negative, and the complementary angle of cos, the co-ratio, is sine 16. Now, if we look at the question on the top, they have given us that cos 16 is k. We're going to replace cos 16 with k. And in 5.11, we found that we broke that down into terms of sine 16, and that gave us actually negative the root of 1 minus k squared. So we've taken cos 16 from the question, and in 5.11 we did find that to be minus sine 16, and now we're replacing that from 5.11, and there we have our answer. Okay, we now move to 5.13, which wants us to find cos of 8. Now we need to rewrite 8 with a 16. So we know that cos of 16 is actually equal to cos 2 of 8. So we have the 8 present. Now we have from our formula cos 2 theta, just a quick reminder, and we have three options: cos squared minus sine squared theta. We have 2 cos squared theta minus 1. And the third one we know is 1 minus 2 sine squared theta. But I'm going to use 2 cos squared theta minus 1 because cos 16 is k. So we're now going to express that cos 16 and cos 2 times 8, that's saying cos 2 theta would be 2 cos squared 8 minus 1. Now remember, the question is we're trying to solve for cos 8. So we need to make cos 8 the subject of the formula. And to do that, we're going to say it's cos 16. The minus 1 goes to the left, becomes plus 1 is equal to 2 cos squared 8. Then I'm going to divide both sides by 2. And to find cos 8, I'm going to find it's cos squared 8, so the square root of cos 16 plus 1 all over 2. But it is given that cos 16 is k. So we have cos 16. I'm going to replace that with k plus 1 all over 2, which is equal to cos 8. And that was the question.